Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneur Success Formula podcast, where we get down to earth with real entrepreneurs. You know, the ones who work hard and know that success is more than a mindset because it takes blood, guts, and a bucket full of luck to survive and thrive in the world of business today. My name is Damien Mark Smith, and I'm the host for the show and the author of the Entrepreneur Success Formula, How Thriving Business Owners Actually Do It. And in this episode, I'm speaking with a man who describes himself as a nomadic movement and mindfulness practitioner. He combines science and traditional knowledge in his work to help his clients move forward towards their truest expression of their own individual potential. I like him already. To reduce the suffering we cause ourselves and have a clear understanding of how we function and shape our reality. So, Kevin Scheepers, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Damien. What an entry.
Oh, we try our best. So, Kevin, tell me, when did you start your business? Why did you start it? And how did you get your very first customer?
Sure, it's been a little bit of an evolution. So obviously, the way that I'm doing my business now wasn't the way that I started at all. I had to do a lot of trial and error and figure some stuff out. But anything the closest that was towards what I'm doing now was about 3.5 years ago, where things just started to come together. Went a little bit through in my own discovery and had to break down a lot of the stuff that I believed was defined as wellness. And so the way that I got my first client was just, meeting a person and talking about the things that I had done, and they were interested. And then I started offering the service.
Okay. And I mean, you started how long ago now was it? Well,
The way that I'm doing it now, we started about 3.5 years ago.
3.5 years ago. Wow. Okay. And you've been featured in Cosmo, is that right?
Not in Cosmo now.
What's the magazine you've been featured in?
Well, no, wait, no, Cosmo should be out now, so that's right.
Just checking in there.
I had to check, like, what?
No, that's really cool. What's been the biggest mental challenge that you've had to overcome as an entrepreneur?
So because my offering, it has a lot to do with my personality, the self-worth, and being comfortable with offering out my service, because it's instant feedback as to if people actually enjoy what I'm doing or not. So it was a little bit of a self-confidence issue, and also in my own believing in the tools that I was offering up. So it took me quite a while to just be like, hey, well, this is what I'm doing, and so this is what I can offer, and if it doesn't help you, we can try to adapt it, and if not, you just have to work with somebody else. So being able to stand my ground and support and just be confident with what I'm offering, that took quite a while for me.
And are you after specific types of clients that you think you can help?
Well, I really enjoy working with the high-performing entrepreneurial founder type because they want to create something, and my offering is very geared to you functioning at your own personal best and being able to realize who you are. So I like to work with these individuals because as it is, an entrepreneur is goal-driven. They want to create something, and this takes a lot of energy. So these are the kinds of people that I'm looking out to work with, and that I'm working with currently, and that I see the biggest results with because we're kind of on the same page.
Yeah. Okay. And what's been the biggest challenge that you've helped one of your clients through?
It's a lot of the mental capacity, especially in the entrepreneurial field, where they're, kind of balancing this. Okay, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? What's happening in my private life, right? So by implementing the right habits and tools, we had the greatest success in for that individual's stress level to be reduced to a point where he could just push on and keep going, right? And it is in the terms of being an entrepreneur and a founder, it's incredible hard to balance these kinds of things. And so for him not to need to go and search the right tools to manage his own stress levels was crucial. And so that allowed him to succeed in his own business.
Fantastic. So the skills and experience that you've gained outside of your coaching practice, which you integrate, I mean, I've looked at your website, it's fascinating. Do you want to just tell us how you kind of gain those skills for starters?
Well, I was always a very curious person, and my personal mission is human potential, right? My own potential. I want to see what this body, this mind, everything is capable of. So I went out and sought as much as I could. I traveled, I lived in the jungle, I lived in big cities, I lived in Tokyo. I really wanted to know what different cultures are out there and how that could challenge me into growing and get the specific skill sets. Obviously, I'm all my life I've been a martial artist, and so that has really informed the way that I look at the world and the way that I get after stuff. So it's this a little bit of an intense vibe that I'm coming in with,
Yeah.
and so that's giving me a lot of the skills like adaptability, social skills, because I didn't originally I wasn't very social. So all of these different things, they had to be developed as I went out there and really put myself in discomfort in this very comfortable world that we're living in right now.
I mean, you've got a lot of different areas of your skill potential that you bring to your coaching. I
Yeah.
mean, the mind body connection is fascinating. What would you say is kind of like the number one thing that's kind of missing for most business owners that you can help them with? You know, what's that number one skill set that you can bring?
Yeah, so the biggest issue I see today is this disconnect. Everything kind of happens on a mental perspective, and kind of bringing the two together where we're using the cerebral mindset that we have, right? We're all kind of thinking a lot, but we can use that to bypass, to redirect the attention towards our body and create and bridge the gap between those two connections. And so by reestablishing habits like giving yourself a self massage or using your senses to be realigned with how you shape the connection between the outside world and the inside world has been one of the things that I need to teach just straight away from the get-go to get the results. And so we're really missing the physicality of going outside or being in touch with your body and moving in a specific way.
And if there was like one like top tip that you would give to people for energy, it's like if you want to get more energy, what would you like the number one thing that you do?
It's sleep, optimizing sleep. It's understanding the different triggers of our environment and how we can optimize your sleep is one of the biggest challenges that people have. And I think as an entrepreneur and founder, that's one of the biggest things, right? Because you want to check your emails late, you still have that one thing to finish. The work never really ends until you've kind of established the things. So having certain non-negotiable routines around getting your sleep organized is so beneficial. And
Yeah.
you'll immediately after a couple of days notice how you're more energized, you can focus better, you are more skillful at communicating the things that you want to communicate. So that's the number one thing I would say.
And can I just add to that because my girlfriend and I we've been well she specifically has been struggling with sleep. So two things that we introduced. Number one was cut off screen time.
Yeah.
So we had a 9 p.m. cut off for screen time, and that made a big difference. And the second one was actually the amount of food we were having in the evening. If we pulled back to a very limited amount of food that we had prior to like 6 or 7 o'clock, that just gave our bodies time to kind of digest it, and then we would sleep through the night. And it was just simple little things like that that made a big difference.
It's exactly that, right? We think it's a lot of big stuff that we need to do to get the most effects, but it's the small implementations understanding. And you said it the best, right? Food, the things that you eat, how much you eat, some of the stuff might really impair your sleep. The screen time is a really good one. I like to even go one further and say no artificial light after 9 p.m. if you're trying to sleep, right? So candle light. And the one thing that I like to do is to be bored before bed because we really want to get into the right frequencies of state. And we've kind of forgotten the skill how you can be bored, but it does such a difference. You'll tap into that sleep cycle straight away and you'll get amazing sleep and you'll be able to process the whole day that you've had so much better.
Yeah, and if anyone's been watching TV before bed, especially if you watch like dramas which are really exciting, or they've got, a hook at the end that people like will leave you, with the Zeigarnik effect. They're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen there. That's not going to help, by the way.
And then the Netflix where it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, decision made. We're going to watch one more.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, that's not a good one. Okay, if you had to start all over again from scratch, what is the very first thing that you would have done differently?
I spend a lot of time on portraying the way that I look in media instead of actually focusing on testing my tools and maybe working for free in the beginning. just to get the experience and the credibility and the confidence. So I think I would spend a little bit more time to just get out there and try my methods and testing it, so I could not waste around the time to try to offer stuff that people don't want, and so on and so forth.
I love that. That's really good. Right, I'm going to love this one. So we are building up a very good library of books, by the way. What are your three favorite self-help or business books that you can recommend?
Yeah, so I think the three ones that are kind of in different areas would be, one is Boundless by Ben Greenfield, which is more in the
I'm listening
optimization.
to it at the moment. It's amazing.
It's crazy, right? It's
Such
like
a
a
good book.
Bible of
Oh,
different triggers,
incredible.
right? So that's really cool. In terms of understanding focus and meditation triggers, I really like The Science of Enlightenment by Shinzen Young.
Oh, not heard of that one. Okay.
So that one's really, really cool because it takes a lot of the dogma out of meditation and then explains the different triggers. And it really got me started to a lot of stuff there. And then it is The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, which is, a lot of psychology and different patternings and understanding, because ultimately a lot of the issues that we have in today's life is because we've not really learned how to be with each other. And I think understanding different triggers and personality types can help you navigate today's space to see the conflict before it occurs, and also when the conflict arises, you can kind of dampen it and understand all the parties a little better if you are able to exit out of your own problem and see them from their own perspective.
Well, I'm really chuffed because I've got two of those. So I'm really happy with that.
Okay.
That Ben Greenfield book is just so amazing. It's blown me away. I'm going to put the links to it in the show notes for everyone as well.
Absolutely. Give it a read.
Oh, it's amazing. So, Kevin, how do you see your business expanding, and what more would you like to offer your clients?
Yeah, so that's become a lot more clearer now with the COVID situation, especially because a lot of the companies are going to be facing a lot of new unknown issues as we're moving away from having office spaces. So teaching people how to use those transitioning rituals that we'll need to create in order for us to have a clear differentiation between work time and private time.
Mm-hmm.
And also, managing distraction, managing the thinking about work when you're supposed to be spending time with your loved ones. So that whole dynamic of now going digital is going to create a new host of problems, both physically, mentally, and so on and so forth. So I think I want to really see it grow in the area where I can support the businesses to make the transition as smooth as possible, and maybe even get more out of it because they're able to perform at a better and also be a lot happier, be integrated in the company as well.
I like that. That's great. And have you seen an increase in people looking from entering during the COVID-19 pandemic in their mental health?
Yeah, so there's been a little bit of carefulness in the initial phase of COVID, but now that people are saying that this is probably something that's going to either reoccur or keep expanding, and it's also pointed out a lot of the issues that we have in today's society. So after it progressed, I really saw an increase in it because we need it so desperately.
I'm seeing there's definitely an aftershock,
Yeah,
and especially amongst young people who are thinking, well, we can't study, we're probably not going to get a job. What's the point?
yeah.
And which is why I think entrepreneurship and coaching is very important for people. So, and then finally, what is your favorite business entrepreneurial movie? And crucially, if they made a movie about you, who would play the starring role?
Yeah, it's maybe not businessy, but somewhat businessy, but it fits into my coaching. So I think Limitless is a really good one because
Love that film.
and he's in a really bad spot, and then by implementing these different habits, right, he becomes this uh, over ultra human being that is able to be very social and smart about it, right? And people don't realize that the habits that he's starting to implement, right, are the things that are probably giving him the biggest offers. They wire it around the pill, but that's not really it. And so hence, I also like Bradley Cooper a lot. So I think that's a choice to play me.
I think you get away with that. Yeah. Fantastic. And Kevin, if listeners want to get in touch with you, and I'm sure they will, how can they do so?
Easiest is just to shoot me a mail. That's talkto@scheepers.com, or you can find me on my webpage. That's also the same. So scheepers.com is where you find a lot of information, also stuff that you mentioned, Damien. And just reach out, and I'm happy to jump on a call if you have any questions. I like to interact. I like to say that this human interaction is one of the things that we need to do more of. And so
Absolutely.
I really enjoy being on podcast with you, because these conversations is what's going to get us further in life and as a human being.
Fantastic. And go to his website, because there's a fantastic free download on meditation that's available as well. Kev, thank you so much for taking this brief delve into the real life of real entrepreneurs. Can I ask that you and your listeners share this podcast with anyone who works hard, and also like us on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube as well. And if you would like to take part in this show, simply drop me an email, damien@rethinkingbusiness.biz, and we can have a chat. And I would like to also say that this is the first episode that's been sponsored by Blinkist. And Kev, I'm sure you know Blinkist. Love that program, and I'm going to be putting a link to Blinkist on the show notes as well. So Kev, here's to your own success, and speak to you soon. Cool, good stuff. Yeah, it was really good. Short and sweet, really good. Really like that. Yeah, so Blinkist basically said we're basically upping the ante now. So wanting to put basically 30 episodes together to just get a format. And I was up to 10,000 listeners on my previous podcast, but I haven't basically been promoting this one at all. I just wanted to get the right format first. Got to 25, felt like we were pretty close. Blinkist approached us and said, can we sponsor the show? So that's good. So now we're going to be going out to a lot more people, which is good. So I wanted to get better guests on the show as a result, and the last 3 have been amazing. So yeah, really good stuff. Really enjoyed that, and really nice to meet you as well.
Absolutely. Let me know if I can help you in any way, right?
Will do. Brilliant. And great book choices.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, what was the enlightenment one? I'm going to get that one now.
Oh, it's Scheepers and Young.
I'm just going to get it on Audible, actually.
Yeah. I think they have it. Be careful on Audible. They have 2 versions. One is the old one is the new one. So I think it's a blue cover. You want to get that one, because that's the one where he really goes into the new nitty-gritty stuff.
So what's the title again?
It's The Science of Enlightenment.
Science.
Yeah, it's a good little introduction to understanding meditation triggers and shaping your reality and stuff. And I enjoyed that one.
So you said there's 2. So there's the 8-hour one and the 16-hour one. I'm assuming I get the 16-hour one, yeah.
Let me just check.
Oh, the one that's actually narrated by Shinzen Young as well. Yeah. I'm assuming that's the right one.
It's not the sunflower one. It's
not the
actually
sunflower
the 8-hour. No, it's the 8-hour one, because the sunflower one is the one where he has he's got like little webinars and stuff in the other one. But I would start with the Science of Enlightenment, how meditation works, and then go back if you're still interested.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Right, purchased. Done it. Great stuff. We go listen to that after my tennis lesson. Brilliant.
All right,
Kev,
have a great
lovely
day.
talking with you. Oh, can we connect on LinkedIn as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Cheers. Thanks a lot.